And now I have the privilege and pleasure of introducing Dr. Dolly Berthelot. She is a human communication specialist and professional writer. She earned a BA from Southeastern Louisiana College in English Liberal Arts with a sociology minor and an MS and EDD, combining communication with curriculum and instruction. Her consulting includes business and organizational training and development, creative workshop and manual designs, conflict management, diversity training, and team building. She now concentrates on her own memoir writing and working one-on-one to achieve the communication, relationship, and story-sharing goals of individual clients. She is also a longtime member of this congregation, very active in building it from the ground up for many, many years, and it is a delight to have her at the pulpit once again.
Thank you. Today is really all about y'all because it is a dialogue. I'll just say a few words to lead into it. We're dealing with the whole question of independence to community. Independence and individualism, interdependence, and community. These four, I think, mean a lot to all of us. I have found in my own life, the first two meant more to me in the first half of my life, the independence and individualism. As I grew and developed and learned and experienced, then, for me, interdependence and community meant more and more and more. But they're not antithetical at all. In fact, I think one strengthens the other. And we in this church are ultimately a community. Right now, we're a community struggling. I didn't know how much we were going to be confronted with today with the news from Bob, which adds an extra sorrow on our community. However, I also believe that this man who has been our minister and now our minister emeritus truly embodies all four of these concepts: independence, individualism, interdependence, and community. What we're going to be doing is dividing up into small groups. It's all about a dialogue. Where are we on this? Okay. My job is to remember that I have technology up here, which I am not used to. Okay. So that's the big four. Can you hear me, by the way? Is it projecting all right? That's the big four that we're dealing with. The next pages are going to give you a few quotes that I've selected addressing each of those things, but those quotes are strictly just a catalyst for you to consider as you're discussing. So the next thing, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to ask that you please not sit with spouses, mates, best friends. Please try to mix it up. Please, right now, the chairs are portable. Please stand up. Please get in. None of this is going to work unless you do the first stage. So would you please just get up, turn the chairs around, make small groups of about 7 people, trying to be with people you don't know super well. Got to give them time to do this. I said I've got to give them time to do this. Yep. Hedwig, can you get over here? Or is your knee okay? Can you do that? Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. Can I help here? There we go. Okay. 6 or 7 in each group. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I can't. Hi. Okay, we could use one more in here. It'd be better if she can go on around over there, if that's okay. Yeah, I know. We're not going to force it. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Somewhere there are notebooks. They were supposed to be on the front row. I'm going to see if they're up there. Did anybody find a stack of notebooks? They're okay. They're in the pulpit. Okay. They're really a minor part of this. The main thing is that y'all are going to be talking with one another about these concepts, essentially one at a time. But again, we're going to go through some more directions. All the notebooks are is hoping that we have a little chance after all the small group work for each group to be able to quickly say something. It might be a good idea to jot some things down. If there's something that you think, and you may just want to keep it for yourself. If there's something that comes up that you want to think about or something you want to remember to say, you can use a notebook. Just ask someone in the group to take some notes, and that's not a big deal at all. Very informally. Just to jot a few things down. And if you don't have it, that's okay too. Okay, the directions are all up here, but I'm also going to say them briefly. Okay, you're going to get lots of chances to talk. Okay. All right, the first thing is I'm going to be showing you separate slides for each word, okay? And when those come up, you're going to take a moment to silently read and consider the quotes that are associated with each category. And then you're going to have 4 or 5 minutes to talk among yourselves. And as I say, later we'll share a little bit in whole group if time allows. So when the dialogue begins, this is the usual stuff for most of us that have been in many discussions. Just remember to please listen to one another. Give everybody a chance to speak, but don't force anybody to speak. Honor silences as well. Make sure that no one dominates. We want to give everybody a chance. And remember that it's better to be scrupulous about confidences and err on the side of keeping things confident if you have any doubt whatsoever about it. So the quotes will project separately. You'll read them, then we'll discuss each one. You can refer to the quotes or not refer to the quotes as you like. And I'm saying, like if you find in your discussion that you're discussing independence, but something comes to your mind about interdependence that you think is relevant, don't worry about that. The whole idea here is it's an effort to consider, to grapple with these important issues and to build some bridges among us at the same time to get to know each other better and more deeply, and to think about these issues in relation to both your personal and professional life and in terms of this church of which we are all a part. Okay. And do try to use your own personal experiences. Unitarians have a tendency to sometimes get a little too abstract and start quoting a million scholars and all of that. We're not trying here to see how smart everybody is. We know everybody's smart. We're trying to understand at a deeper level from the heart, from your own experiences. So think of it as a little bit of story sharing from your own life, but brief stories because this needs to be a 3-hour program. we have limited time. Okay. This is some of the questions that you might want to consider. Again, these are catalysts, these are springboards. Am I in the way? Okay. So look at those. If you like, I'll flip back to this from time to time to remind you, but just read them and think about it. This last one is probably the most provocative and perhaps most difficult of the questions. Whether you think your perception of these things would differ if you yourself were different in terms of race or gender or age or religion or any of the human factors that you can think of that make people different from what politics, any of that. Okay. I also, under each word, you'll notice that I just thought it was kind of interesting when I Googled how varied the number of quotes were that just showed up. So you might just, as a little point of interest, notice that. I don't think I need to read these quotes. I think y'all can do that. I think I can shut up now and let you do that. So there they are. That's your springboard. That's all you need to know. You now have 5 minutes to discuss this as you like. And I'll sort of mingle. You can ask any questions you like, but other than that, it's you now. Huh? Please. Yes, absolutely more. In fact, a 1 minute, a 1 minute alert would be good. Okay. As long as everybody had a chance to read the quotes, I think they did. Do what? Quotes back. I'm having competing demands here. Okay. What? No. Yeah. Wait. Is that what you want? Yeah. I said 3. We're raising the questions today. Basically, we're raising the questions today.
1-minute warning.
Since you've got me conscious of it. Okay, I heard some interesting stuff. Moving now to the next one. Individuality, the quote's there, and after you've had a chance to read, I'll flip back to the questions as somebody asked me to do, but just briefly because somebody else said, but we need to keep seeing the quotes. So I'll try to accommodate both needs. You're in your 5 minutes now. What do we want? The quotes?
We were taking notes on the previous question, and I didn't get to read the last quote.
The last quote, just
On
a minute.
individuality.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, right.
Is that what you want?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, good. Isn't it time? Wrap it up. About 30 more seconds for this one. As we finish with individuality, or move on, we're not finished with any of it. As we move on from individuality, I want to remind you to please make sure that no one talks at the expense of other people. Make sure that everybody in the group, including the more reticent and introvert people, at least have a chance to share what they would like. Now, interdependence. We're moving into sort of the second half of the equation, which will be interdependence and community. I'll leave these up for a while and then flip back to the questions after a little bit. And I heard somebody point out, which is a reality, I tried to make a mixture of almost conflicting quotes because these are complex issues. Are you having trouble seeing?
I'm over there.
Huh? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. You can see it when you're up here. Good. Yeah, we're not looking for consensus in this group. I mean, if that happens, that would be interesting, but that is not a goal. We're just trying to understand, think about these things, and understand as much as you can from each other and of your own self. Some of you, may have never thought about these things before. They're not out there a whole lot. Huh? That's right. The questions are back up for a moment if you need to look at those. Interdependence. wrap up Interdependence for now. Anybody needs to get a last word in, get the sentence out. And finally, we come to the thing that we say we are in this church. Finally, we come to the thing that many churches say they are, that many groups say they are. The question is, to what extent are we? To what extent do we want to be? To what extent are we willing to find ways to negotiate through these four sometimes tense combinations of variables? And what do you think about it? So, go. 5 minutes. Community. And what do you want from your community, whatever community it is? Good to see you again. Is that true of all communities, or is that what you would like your community to do?
Every religion says this, basically. Every philosophy.
hate to say this, but our time is up for this part of it. Where's the mic for them? That's it, yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Testing.
Thank you. You leave mine on also. Leave this one on, and is this one on?
Is this on?
Okay.
Would you like me to run it?
Ring the bell. No, I'll do it. You can stay in your group for a minute. You can stay in your group for a minute. Well, I'm already mic'd up. You couldn't hear me? Okay. Shh. Okay. Please. Community must reign now, not independence and individuality. I'm sorry, what?
You raise your hand and I see you, and I raise my hand, that everybody will
It seems to be quiet. Okay. The only thing we have time for now, very quickly, is for somebody in each group using this mic. I'm wired otherwise, but somebody using this mic, somebody in your group, y'all decide to share anything from your group that you would like to share. It's obviously got to be very brief, much too brief for the subject matter. All right. Quick, who goes first? Okay.
A couple of the things that I thought our group came up with that were the most, in my mind, the most notable were that in order to have interdependence, one must first have independence, because interdependence depends on the individual having their own qualities that they can share. Otherwise, it's just dependence. And the second one...
That's all right. Thank you. Very brief. Maybe we'll pick this up another time and have some other time to discuss it. Got it.
Thanks. I'll mention community. We had talked about that. Margaret had mentioned being in the church at a very crucial moment right now where we really need community and come together, and spoke of her experiences on the Scott Street Church and schisms that were generated in those periods, and how important it is for all of us to come together, which ties in with just about everything else too. The need for empathy with other people, the need to see how connected we are to everybody else's groups and communities, even communities outside of this church too, and just how connected we are, which makes it into a broad community, and why community is so important, especially here at this church right now.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, we talked about the fact that the independence quotes were all very contradictory, and that we must be independent, but we can't be independent because we must be interdependent in order to really survive, because no one's really self-sufficient. No one digs their own coal. So in the end, Bob had the best quote, and it is that all real truth is paradoxical.
Amen. Thank you. Somebody here?
Well, we were all very interested in the fact that even though we are all women, we all had very different experiences with independence and interdependence and individuality, and how it takes a certain amount of independence to assert your individuality, even in all of our different interdependent circumstances, whether we were a part of a close family or out on our own or very separated from our family in some cases. So it was very interesting to think about our experiences as women of different generations and different circumstances.
Thank you. Somebody over here?
So one of the things that we talked about was about this church as a community, about Unitarian Universalism as a community, and how while most churches are doctrine and community, UU is really about the community, and you can have whatever doctrine you want, and that allows anyone to be a part of this community, and we are all really thankful for that.
Thank you. Some groups mixed, I'm not sure. Okay, good.
I didn't take any notes.
Okay.
We talked. We spent a lot of time talking and about our experiences with communities, especially, and how we all need more than one community. One isn't enough. You have communities for different needs and purposes, but yeah, they're all mixed in there in a big pile.
Thank you. I wish I could have been hearing every word of every discussion. Last but not least.
One of the things we commented on was that community of the four was perhaps the hardest to achieve, and it needs two-way communication, not just communication. And the other thing we commented on is we talked about the Stephen Covey quote about being you have to be independent in order to become interdependent. But then the example was given of some groups that live under a dictatorship, they're interdependent and they're not necessarily independent. So, and as far as isolated, we felt that sometimes UU in society is an isolated group, and even though we're dependent upon each other.
Thank you. Well, I hope that this will be the beginning of this discussion and not the end of it. I hope you'll find ways one-on-one or in small groups to discuss it further and to just think about it. Let's see. We now go to music. Is that right? Or is it offering? Oh, money. Now you may get back into your seats if you wish, or stay where you are if you wish.